Action podcast, one and only Terry Stone, Big Brett May, Doncaster Matthew inside. He said, they're shooting at us. And I said, yeah, f***ing ram them. I just heard all these sirens. Arm responsive coming. Bang. And ran straight in. Mass on the lot. Get down. Dropped this garden shear in half, pulled it out, whoosh. I stuck it through his eye and blinded him.
Your dad would rob your grandmum for...
Yeah, literally. I'd have to fight him away from my grandparents. Decker could be a potential opponent about like sharing things all over. I want Brett May, so we can fucking have Brett May. But brother, you need to lay down, put your feet up quick. Looked in mirror and my neck just went...
Is that advice that Brett's taken from his entire life? Is you need to lay down, put your feet up, because he seems to spend a lot of time in bed, doesn't he?
I thought, put my hand on here. I thought I need to get ambulance quick. I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? There's some things you don't do. You don't come into one another's area. Don't piss in my pond. If you're stabbed or shot or anything, if you eat something or drink something quick, it puts more bloodstream in you. So I grabbed this Boost bar, and I've got been stabbed 16 times, and the fuck is eating a Boost bar? No wonder I'm 21 stone much. Bad me issues with.
No, Brett. Let's not get on to things you can prove with newspaper articles, because some of them you don't like.
At least in the day, but they saved my life that day. I'm forever grateful for that. Hold on a minute. Let's get it.
But Big Brett May's in the house as we review the podcast live from Las Vegas.
You can't shoot this bar. If anyone comes in this room for me, I've got this.
Right now, full disclosure, I've not seen this yet. I was going
Welcome back to the Criminal Connection podcast.
Hello, Terry.
Today, we've got the Doncaster Destroyer in the building. He's a bear.
I've just got confirmation. Terry Stone has officially announced that he's going to play Brett May in the Danny Christie story.
Knuckle fighting legend. Please put your hands together for Mr. Brett May in the building.
You up there, Doncaster?
Yeah.
You up there?
How you doing?
Those things I like, man, bro.
Yeah. Do you know something, Brett? It's been funny because I've heard your name probably for the last
Brett, we need to do one of these,
4 years, constantly. And I've always thought, actually, obviously before I even had the podcast, I always just thought I'd like to meet this guy and actually find out who the real fella is.
Nah, you too, mate. I watch a lot of films and you're a living legend.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Pick up the cold hit, the likes, not the pipes.
Thank you. So if we literally, because a lot of the viewers will have just seen videos of you online, or you speaking online, or you fighting online, and then obviously everyone's got their comments. You've got the trolls, you've got the lovers, you've got the haters.
They keep it going though. Haters pay the bills, remember that.
Well, the thing is that's always made me laugh about Jake Paul, because Jake Paul was actually, I don't know if you saw one of his fights, but he walked to the ring and he was going, Jake Paul.
Yeah, come on.
And he wanted people to hate him, and people going, why do you want people to hate you? And he's like, because they fucking drive the views.
Because there's no one what views you more than someone what hates you. Remember that. You know what I mean? So the more they hate you,
that may be a shout, that, Kevlin.
the more traction it's coming.
Yeah.
Kevlin.
So if we go back to, was you born and raised in Doncaster?
I was, mate, yeah.
Right, okay.
I raised Doncaster, yeah.
And what was your sort of background? Was you sort of...
Background from Stainforth, Doncaster. In Doncaster, you have villages, you see. A lot of mining villages, rough towns, and Stainforth, where I'm from, is the roughest village in Doncaster.
It would have to be the roughest, though, wouldn't it?
Village. My dad was a miner, my granddad
Was it the roughest village in Doncaster? Because that's where Brett lived, though. That's what I need to know.
was a miner. My dad was in and out of prison all his life, and when I started getting brought up, I started going to prison from an early age, fighting up rough streets. Everyone wanted to be the top man, who's the fucking man of this village. And then, yeah.
Fighting on the rough streets. Oh, sounds like a really early Tupac verse, doesn't it?
I conquered that, but it got me a lot of jail in process.
Right, okay.
Shout outs Kelsey, shout out Scotch Egg. Scotch Egg's a free man.
Because in Little Britain, I don't know if you've seen that.
He does look like he should be. In fact, they both look like they should be a Little Britain. I'm sorry, Terry. I do love you, but it is my job to ridicule people.
Daffyd.
I said it.
He's
yeah.
like, I'm the only guy in the village, but you
it.
was the like toughest man in the village.
Comparing him to the gay guy from Little Britain, and then he shows that clip. Terry Stone's not as daft as some people think he is,
Come on, yeah.
And being from a lot of people that may not know about the mining towns.
Yeah.
I mean, the mining towns are like literally. I mean, those people. I mean, they were like digging things with their hands, weren't they? I mean, they were like alpha males.
Yeah, no, trust me. Mining villages are a known fact. It breeds rough men. You know what I mean? It has done for years since the miners' strike with Maggie Thatcher and all that. You know what I mean? It's just a known thing.
It's not necessarily rough, man. It breeds proper what you would call a working man. Do you know what I mean? Not necessarily just rough men, but men that certainly aren't afraid to get their hands dirty or their faces or anything like that. From my bedroom window growing up, when I lived in Broomfield Avenue in Battle Hill, you can see it. Like there's a what's it called again? It's called the pit heap, and it's an old heap of a calling. You know, I wouldn't say I'm from a calling village, but I'm from I'm you know, there's a lot of people did that in my granddad's generation in the country, in the little town I grew up in.
Barnsley, Wakefield, all your mining towns, even Wales. You know what I mean? Wherever you find mining towns, you always find hard men.
Right. And with your father, you said that he was like obviously in and out of jail.
Yeah.
Was that just for fighting, or what was that for?
Yeah, my dad was always in and out of jail for fighting, GBH Section 18. I can remember just always.
You don't go in and out of jail for GBH in Section 18.
To visit him in jails or growing up.
Section 18. No, wait a minute. Yeah, Section 18's wounding with intent, isn't it?
9 to 10, 11-year-olds.
And with your mum, obviously, when she was sort of bringing you up, and obviously dad was in jail, what was that like? Have you got any brothers and sisters as well?
Yeah, I got a little sister who's 7 years younger than me.
You know what? We're far too quick on here, I think, at times to take the piss out of Brett and people like him for going in and out of jail and whatnot. But when you stop and you do listen to the backstory of how they grew up and what start they had in life, it does speak for itself, really, when you think about it. I'm from a family where my dad was he still is. He's a lovely guy. I don't think he's ever been arrested in his entire life, to tell you the truth. And I had a great upbringing, so I take that for granted. But you know, people like Brett obviously didn't.
My mum and dad broke up from a young age. You see, when I was about 10, 11-year-old, a lot of domestic violence and that involved in there. As they went their own ways, and yeah, just one of them things really. I started going around to my dad's, and then he developed kind of a drug problem, to be honest with you.
I'll make you laugh, Chegg. Have you had sex in your new place yet?
And I can remember, like, enough every day I was like ringing ambulance on him, you know, because he were overdosing all the time. And it
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What was he? And what was
my biggest stress growing up was, were my mum and dad going to get us a mountain bike and a Super Nintendo for Christmas, or just one or the other? Do you know what I mean? So,
what was he taking? Was it just sort of
a crack, heroin? You know what I mean? Every drug you can think of, plus they were selling it, dealing from there, and then they were like obviously prostitutes working from flat, and then because I was in the midst of it all.
Right.
Well, I was living there at the time. I was like brought up like basically like a young pit bull. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So like
you were brought up like a young pit bull. Or when you were like age 7, did you have to fight Danny G?
From a young age, when I was 11, 12-year-old, a lot of travellers and gypsies in the area, and he'd be like, you better fight him there, and he's chucking me.
That's not how you're meant to bring a pit bull up, by the way, either. You're not meant to send pit bulls outside to fight other dogs. In fact, you're not meant to do that with any animal.
Out fighting young traveller lads, young gypsy lads at 11, 12 years old. And
I love this top, by the way.
Got brought up fighting it out, really. And people couldn't pay the debts and that. He'd be like, yo, smash him in. And I'll be like 13-year-old getting stuck into these.
The 13-year-old enforcer.
Fully grown men, you know what I mean? I was sat there shit in the sense, because my dad was a bit of a fucking boy back in there, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, it must have been, you know, for people watching or listening to this podcast, the madness of being brought up in an environment where your dad's obviously a drug addict. He's running shoots out there. You're obviously growing up, and as a young boy, like you said, you're being forced into fighting. Had you always enjoyed fighting?
Yeah, well, they took me into Taekwondo at a young age. I was 4 or 5 year old with Kenny Walton from Fawn. I think he's one of them.
Which one of them's Brett? Hold on a second.
Because my dad was a bit of a fucking boy, 4 or 5 year old with Kenny Walton from Fawn.
I mean, that's a kick in the balls. That is a kick in the balls, a Taekwondo move, is it? Yasoda Ghoulies.
Just established.
Yeah. Hong Kong. No, it doesn't matter. We're slipping into borderline racism here. Actually, I'll do a Brett May style disclaimer. If I say anything racist, it's not really racist, right? Because I said it's not now. There we go. That's that covered.
Taekwondo men now, I think he's, what is he, 7th Dan or something like that.
Wow.
But because it was international Taekwondo and not world Taekwondo, it was more like tap.
International Taekwondo, not world Taekwondo. Now, I don't know anything about Taekwondo, but I do know a little bit about the English language, and international and world tend to mean the same thing.
Points. And when I started getting to the age of like 10 years old, I was fighting kids on the street who were proper fucking banging me, and my nose is getting busted, my eyes are getting black. And these are just wanting me to tap. It really wasn't cutting it on the streets. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? People fucking sticking glass bottles off your head, you know, when you're a young lad, and you're thinking this tap shit's not working. So
This tap shit's just not working.
ended up going into British Championships up in Bristol, and I got disqualified for excessive contact. I ended up fucking filling this kid in, and they disqualified me straight away. So I then went into World Taekwondo with Martin Baker from Atfield.
So when in this competition and the disqualified is for cuddling straight away.
Who's a well-renowned taekwondoist. Did it for a couple of months, then I thought, you know, it's not my thing.
Is taekwondoist the correct term? Because it sounds a bit ridiculous to me.
So I got into boxing, and then after that, I didn't look back.
And I take it you had quite a few amateur fights as well.
Yeah. I had a few amateur fights. Yeah.
And what boxing club did you fight for?
I fought for Atfield ABC,
Right.
then Lindholm ABC, under a fellow called Pete Bell. He's dead now, but everyone in Doncaster knew him. Ex-SAS man.
Tap wasn't working, so he started modern jazz.
Man, but he sung himself. And once he sung himself, he just went down. He wasn't interested no more, and he died of cancer.
No, it's not. It's not Taekwondo practitioner. It's Taekwondo man.
A couple of years later.
I mean that it's funny, isn't it? When
Tap, you're aware of this one, Taekwondo man.
when you see these people like these real men, they seem to go through a lot of fucking trials and tribulations. Like you said, your dad went through it, you went through it, the SAS guy went through it. Do you know what I mean? It's horrendous to even for anyone to comprehend the amount of pain that must be.
100 million%. Yeah, everyone's got the turmoils and problems, haven't they? So you got to channel them, haven't you?
And with you, Brett,
Everybody's got their own problems, but some people have created 100% of their own problems unnecessarily. And I think that's one thing that most of the people that I talk about on this channel have in common, is they've all created their own problems 100% themselves, have no accountability for it, and the majority of them are pointless. At least some of the stuff that Brett May has been to jail for was crime in terms of he's making money from crime. Like, Brett's a criminal. He's a career criminal to some degree, you could call him. But HEDGEHOG's been in and out of jail. So Brett does something 9 times out of 10 from what I've seen for financial gain. He takes a risk of going to jail for financial gain. Takes a risk of going to jail for financial gain. To me, that's the definition of a proper criminal. Then you've got Decker, who's in and out of jail just for literally doing stupid shit. Do you know what I mean? For no reason.
With your dad, even though he sort of like made you fight, and did you have sort of like a love for him?
Yeah, I never said he was a good career criminal. I mean, yeah, right. When I was in Durham, right, and I was on the wing, I was padded up with a burglar. I'll never forget him. I can't remember his name though. And he was in for like the 3rd or the 4th time for burglary. And he was like, I was like, how many times have you been caught? Like, and he was like, in total, this will be the, like, leading up to like the 22nd to the 27th burglary that he'd been caught for. And I thought, well, in fact, I said to him, have you never tried, you never fancy trying something else? Because if you've been caught for something 27 times, you're clearly not very good at it, are you? I mean, I got caught doing an insurance job once, and I've never done one since.
You know what I mean? Love me. I didn't like look at it as like father and son, looked at it like we were brothers, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
right.
Obviously, my dad was my best mate, and at the time we did everything together. Just before I got locked up on my prison sentence, I got him off all the stuff. Right. I went around every dealer, as you can imagine. Donnie shut them down. Listen, anyone sells my fucking dad this shit, you're getting snapped up. We must have given about 100 deals a good idea.
But you can't do that with heroin, because I've got a friend who's a lifelong heroin addict. He's from Manchester, and when he comes up to Newcastle to stay, I mean, I don't know anywhere, and I never really did know anywhere he could get smack from. But he used to do it. He used to go, it's fine. And he used to go to Wallsend High Street and look for somebody that looked like they were on it and just say, yeah, can you get us a bag? I'll buy you one. Sorted like that every time. And then the kid comes to drop it off and he gets the kid's number every time. It's the easiest thing in the world to buy that. So you couldn't shut his dad's addiction down by telling the dealers not to serve him because his dad would just get somebody else to get served for him.
In Doncaster.
Right.
But when the cat's away, the mice will play, won't they? People will get the money. I'm in prison.
What do you say there?
Right. And did you have sort of like a love for him?
1,000,000%. You know what I mean? Love me. I didn't like look at it as like father and son, looked at it like we were brothers, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
obviously my dad was my best mate, and at the time we did everything together. Just before I got locked up on
You find that a lot, you know, with people from these estates and whatnot that end up in and out of prison, is the parents aren't parents. My parents were parents. They were strict, didn't swear in front of them. You know what I mean? Like they told us to do something, I did it. You know what I mean? There was, for all they loved us and I loved them, there was a level of fear there in some degree. Not they're going to kick us all over fear, but like authority. Authority is a word I'm looking for. And then when you see people like Brett, they always say, like they'll say like me and me dad or me and me kids, we're like friends really. And I think that might be part of the problem. I don't think it's intentional, but I think that might be part of the problem. Happy 16 months, folks. Hit the likes, not the pipes. I need to adjust your screen because it brings up a line across the middle of a super chat and I can't read it. I think I got that right. Happy 16 months.
my prison sentence. I got him off all the stuff.
Right.
I went around every dealer, as you can imagine. Donny shut them down. Listen, anyone sells my fucking dad this shit, you're getting snapped up. I must have given about 100 deals a good hiding in Doncaster.
So when he says he must have given 100 dealers a hide in Doncaster, does that mean that he went around 100 dealers and he said, if you sell me dad this stuff, you're going to get snapped up, and they ignored him and then he battered them? Or did he batter them in the first place? In 100 dealers, 100. That's a lot of dealers, that.
Right.
But when the cat's away, the mice will play, won't they? People will get the money. I'm in prison, so people must have started serving him again. And then next minute, rings my sister from my jail cell. So what are you doing? She says, sorry, I've got some bad news to tell you. I said, why, what's up? She says, oh, your dad's just died on your city. And I said, what? And you know, I was in old jail at the time as a Cat B prisoner. So I was like, you what? Like that. And they went, yeah. And I didn't really set in at first. I can remember just freezing in that cell. And when I froze, I thought, fuck, you know, wow, like a whirlwind hit me, John.
Maybe he said there was 100 dealers knew I was hiding. Maybe that's what he said.
I mean, I put the phone down in a gaze, smoked a bit of vape, you know, to try and get my head around things.
Smoked a bit of vape? What, like these things?
And then fucking, madness. When I finally got my head around it, I ended up applying to the governor. I said to the governor, yo, you're going to let me go to this, my father's funeral? You know what I mean? It's my dad's funeral. He says, yeah, I can't see it being a problem. Because I was, at the time, a PID worker there. So I thought, yeah, on D-Wing, HMPO. And then all of a sudden, they come about 2 days, 3 days later, security governor. And says, sorry, your access has been denied. We're not going to let you go to your dad's funeral. I said, why? So I've only got a couple of months left. I'm not an escape risk. They says, we don't have to tell you why. They said, this is the jail. We do what we want to do. And I said, will you? I said, you show you. So after that, mate, I just ripped the jail to pieces. I mean, that was it.
I mean, it must have been fucking heartbreaking for you, you know, like having got your dad off the gear and then getting him back on the right path, and then to have that
100%. Due to like I told you, I got locked up for blackmail charges.
This was
the sentence.
but
yeah.
what was that? Was that the second time or the first?
The newspaper said that it was harassment charges of a male and a female.
Time?
No, this one when my dad relapsed and died.
Right.
So basically, what happened is what I was doing is, and I'm openly honest about it, I was finding out we were making a lot of money through proceeds of crime. A lot of drug dealers, people who were big into cannabis grows, who were around my area, and I was just billing them. There's a term called billing. I was saying, right then, I was saying, you owe me 50 grand, you owe me 50 grand. And before you know it, like, oh, you're not getting no 50 grand. So I had to rough a couple of feathers up, do what I've had to do. And yeah, they did me for blackmail and extortion.
Right.
One of them went to CID and says, yo, I'm an openly a drug dealer, but he's been beating me up and fucking billing me. So they gave him full immunity and they said, no problem, we don't want you, we want Brett. Gave him full immunity and sent me to jail for fucking 3 years.
I mean, genuinely, like when you look at that, right, for me,
I know.
it's like, you know, the reason people rob drug dealers is because they...
So hold on a second. So I'm sure that's right. The newspaper said that he got locked up for harassment of a couple, basically. And he said that he bust case, meaning Either the case was thrown out and he was on remand, or he was found not guilty. There was no trial, I don't think. Couldn't find any evidence of a trial in the press or anything, or on the court list, and so must have been NFA'd if that's true. But then he said he's on a license, which must have just expired now, and there's no license when you're locked up on remand and released. It doesn't exist. So has he just admitted? Like, is that an admission of guilt on a podcast there? Now, I've often wondered, I know that in America they use, and well, they do in the UK now as well with some of the drill rappers, they use rap lyrics against rappers in murder trials. Has anybody ever been locked up because of something they've said on a podcast? There must have been by now. But then on the other hand, most of the criminals or former criminals that would do this sort of thing are either A, completely making up the story they're telling, or B, are very careful about what they say.
Yeah, because you get away with it. But you can't do it. It's a myth now. Right. So if you run into someone's house where there's cannabis grow, it's aggravated burglary. You know what I mean? Straight away, you get locked up more than what they do.
But so he didn't get done for basically everything.
What is the world coming to when you can't kick somebody's front door down and take that stuff off them?
Nah, this says as long as you give evidence against Brett like that, there, because we said we want Brett more. No, they had an ad on for me for some reason. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. This says as long as you give evidence against Brett, you get full immunity. So this fella's admitted to dealing drugs for the last fucking decade. Class A's, Class C's, Class B's, giving full immunity. Bang, turned up at court, gave evidence against me behind the screen, ousted him at other end of the fucking country, and gave me for a year for blackmail and extortion. I take a plea bargain.
I suppose 3 years weren't too bad, but the bad bit was obviously finding out that your dad had passed.
That's it. You know what I mean? The jail's always horrible because you miss.
Yeah, rest in peace, Brett's dad.
It's not important times. You got misses, you got kids, you got anything like that.
How many kids you got?
Me, at the minute, none.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you.
No.
Right.
It's just I'm just saying for general. Yeah, yeah. So no.
I thought he was going to give a big announcement. Yeah, I've got 3 kids, and you know.
Short back in Ladgeville, we'll call that a short back in Shields, where I'm from.
A lot saying they've got kids to me, like, you know what I mean? But not many will let me have DNA tests. You know what I mean?
And then I suppose when you was in jail, you were probably literally fucking plotting
every day,
right? And what happened when you come out? Did you find out who it was?
No. He openly knew it was. It was someone who was like half all right with me at terms. They were making a lot of money in the game, illicit means. So I just thought, quick money. I find out we were making a lot of cash at the time. Don't have to get my hands dirty. And I'd say, yo, you want to live around here doing what you're doing? I want fucking 10 grand off you. I was just putting it on him like that, and yeah, and half at times to pay, half at times run it, please.
And when you. That was your first proper jail stretch for years.
Yeah.
And when you was in there, what sort of went through your mind? Like you said, you missed out on the quality times, but did you actually feel, I don't want to fucking be in here again? Or
fucking hate it, mate. Yeah, that was, I think that was my 24th jail sentence, that one. You know what I mean? Since age 14.
But that was the longest.
No, the longest when I was 18, I got 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was that for?
2 Section 18s, but they run it all as one concurrent. So basically, if you type my name, Brett May, into Google, it comes up barbecue attack. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah.
Does it?
So, yeah, there's a good pal of mine. He's all right. I'm back pals with the kid now. Like the other fella, I'm not. The other fella, I blinded him with one eye. He's only got one eye now. Yeah. So, but he was supposed to be the hardest man in my area at the time, staying for a kid called Jamie Taylor. The other kid was called Paul Oxley. Pal of mine grew up. And what it was, I was at the barbecue, we're drinking with him, blah, blah, blah. And I had this bird at the time, and she was drinking with us. And I thought one of them was fucking, do you know what I mean, flirting and tapping it on.
Oh, yeah, I've only found it. What's this here? Hello, Brett. What's this? 2019. Gang jailed over 20 years. Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. I put in Brett May barbecue attack, and all that's came up is stuff about him. All that's came up stuff about the time he got slashed up. Wow.
Well, there were anyway, but end of the day, I'm not with her now. So what I did is I've just planned it to myself. I got these fucking Cindy's pair of garden shears, what was in corner at garden. And because he had a log burner where the barbecue was, I thought, there's about 6 of these here. I'm on my own. I thought, if I crack one of these, they're going to jump at me. And I was only 18. Jamie Taylor, a 35-year-old bloke in his prime, big fella, well-known art fella in Stainforth. And Paul was a big lad, a year older than me. So I brought this garden shear in half and I stuck it in the fucking log burner. As I stuck it in the log burner, I waited for it to go red. And as soon as it go red, I pulled it out. Whoosh. Gave him one of them down here. And then fucking other one, stuck it through his eye and blinded him. Yes, what I've got through my neck here. That one there. I've got.
Wait a minute.
What's happened? I got 6 years. The other fella blinded him with one eye.
So is this the barbecue?
I got one eye now, yeah. So, but he was supposed to be the hardest man in my area at the time, staying for a kid called Jamie Taylor. The other kid was called Paul Oxley. Pal of mine grew up. And what it was, I was at the barbecue, we're drinking with him, blah, blah, blah. And I had this bird at the time, and she was drinking with us. And I thought one of them was do you know what I mean, flirting and tapping it on. Well, they were anyway, but end of the day, I'm not with her now. So what I did is I've just planned it to myself. I got these fucking Cindy's pair of garden shears, what was in corner at garden. And because he had a log burner where the barbecue were, I thought, there's about 6 of these here. I'm on my own. I thought, if I crack one of these, they're going to jump at me. I was only 18. Jamie Taylor, a 35-year-old bloke in his prime, big fella, well-known hard fella in Stainforth, and Paul was a big lad, a year older than me. So I brought this garden shear in half and I stuck it in the fucking log burner. As I stuck it in the log burner, I waited for it to go red. And as soon as it go red, I pulled it out. Whoosh. Gave him one of them down here. And then fucking other one, stuck it through his eye and blinded him.
Fucking hell.
Yes, what I've got through my neck here. Right. That one there. I've got it straight through his eye and took his eye out. I got 6 years.
Fucking hell. What happened? Was it just like a Wild West fight? Everyone
no, so as I've slashed him on back, Dave jumped on my back, started punching the life out of me, got on top of me. I could feel a few bangs. I've gone through log burner. I've got a burn on my arm here.
So there's still chinned him after that?
Well, tattooed over, where I've landed in the actual fire itself, and I've ended up dropping the weapon. Obviously, I want that size. When I was 18, I was only a skinny lad. I was only like 14, 15. And these were big old fellas. I thought, this, I'm tooling them. Yeah.
When you were 18, you were only 14 or 15?
I mean, that was my mentality at the time. It was wrong, but I had that mentality about me. So as I've gone through the fucking burner, I could feel these kicks and hits to head. And they must have thought what I'd done. But the first one I've struck with a fucking shear, Paul, he's got a big scar down here on the floor. I've ended up managed to pick it back up. And as the Jamies come back in, I've gone, yo, brother, woof, stuck it through his eye and blinded him. And then, yeah.
Yo, brother, woof.
And fucking costing me age, went lenient.
So where's One-Eyed Jamie? Can we get One-Eyed Jamie on a podcast?
6 years. 6 years for one, 6 years for other concurrent. If they run it consecutive, I've got 12 years. But because of my age and they said I had mental health issues, ADHD, PTSD and science.
Right, hold on a second, right? You can't use ADHD for an excuse, right? You can't just whack somebody and go, sorry, mate, it was me ADHD, right? They don't forgive you for it. Trust us, I've tried, right? City Clips says, let's all take a minute to thank Craig for making the unwatchable watchable. Thank you very much, City Clips. Give City Clips a sub right now as we continue with the Brett May abortion cast.
Of personality disorder, the judges were half kind of lenient on me, to be fair. You know what I mean? So
with all these things, obviously that you know that you may get I say in a minute mitigating circumstances for your sentence. Did when you was younger and you was at school, did you find it was hard to concentrate? And
right, the only bit of trouble, and I'll tell you a story here. The only bit of trouble, right, ADHD's ever got me out of was I went to IKEA. And I wanted to buy a mattress. And been awake for a few days on speed. And I lost my temper about something. And I started shouting in the middle of IKEA. And the security guard came over and he said, the manager wants you to get out. So Chrissy said, well, I want to speak to the manager. And Chrissy told the manager that I was an actual diagnosed spacker. And they let me stay in and buy the mattress.
Was you academic or not? Was school not for you?
No, I'm smart. I'm good. Yeah, good at classes. But yeah, because of ADHD, I found it hard to concentrate a lot. So I was just mainly into sports.
Right.
But no, I'm smart. I can do maths and English and that, yeah.
Right, wicked. And then when you went to jail for that, so that was your first time. So that was your longest sentence.
Oh, my longest one, yeah.
Right, so that was the first time.
Yeah, they sent me to North East for that one. Dearborn. Right. I was all up there, Barnard Castle, up in County Durham. So yeah, a long way from home.
And what was? I mean, did you have any aggro when you was in there, or
what up there? Nah, well, a few fights because it were YOs. You're gonna have a few fights in jail. You're gonna get tested no matter who you are.
Right.
You could be fucking Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? It's right though, isn't it?
What the hell is Mike Tyson going to be doing in a British youth offenders? But go on.
Always gonna get some knobhead who's gonna say something, especially on YOs. On cons, it's chilled out.
See, Brett, the difference between you and Mike Tyson, right, is that when when you were stabbing people in the eyes with garden shears at barbecues, right, at 18, he was the world heavyweight champion. Can you see the parallels or none?
Majority of times. But Wales.
When you was in there, though, Brett,
Yeah.
what was the worst sort of violence you saw? It might not have involved you, but somebody else.
The worst violence I've ever saw. I mentioned this on the show on Atwood when I was telling him, saying when I was in Dearborn in that jail, a fella called CJ from Sheffield. To be fair with you, he was in on my last jail sentence. I seen him and run about this. And another fella called Billy Kirby from Leeds. What happened is they had an argument in the gym. And when they've finally gone...
I'm not surprised they're still in jail, Brett. You keep throwing them under the bus on podcasts, man.
Back into the shower. I've walked in, they've had a bit of a fight. And another fella up from North East, Michael Ferry, was there at the time. He's a well-known bare knuckle fighter. And we were watching them fight. And this Billy Kirby beat CJ fair and square. But no one knew he had a fucking double-edged shank down his pants. So when it was all said and done, everyone's gone to walk out. He's come behind with this double-edged razor blade here and say, like, where mine is, what goes through that way, is what that way. And he just went, yup. And then all of a sudden, I've, like, looked at this kid's neck. Yeah, this Billy's kid from me. He's like a flap.
Okay, I'd like to play for the jury now. Exhibit A. This is Sean Atwood, podcast episode 2748 with Brett May.
And the blood just went, boom, squirt.
For an eye count witness.
All over the showers.
Must have looked like a fucking horror movie.
Yeah, no, look, he was going to die. When he fit on 4 dice, so I've ran over. Obviously, only young at the time. I want that experience in it. And I've obviously put pressure, immediate on wound. And then within about 20 seconds, obviously, the screws have come running. Everyone get the fuck out, move. They've put all their emergency plasters all around his neck and, yeah, saved his life. And after about 2 weeks later, I seen him come back on the wing. They've obviously shipped the other kid out now, CJ from Chef. I think he got something like 12 years added onto his sentence for it. And the fucking stitching was just all across round here.
And what was it? What was that over? Was it just a disagreement or?
It's a disagreement in jail. It could just happen like that, especially on the YOs. On the cons, like you say now, you chilled out. You know what I mean? If you're right with them, right with you.
You're too busy playing PlayStation.
Yeah, come on. You don't want it here. You know what I mean? When you're 16 to 21.
Normally at this point, I would say hashtag free check. But he's out.
I don't know. Even myself, you think that you got something to prove, don't you? You know what I mean? And everyone's in the same mentality. Don't get me wrong. Not everyone's the same. But usually on the YOs at that age, it's hard work, man. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to fight for anything.
Right. And so obviously you've done that and you're out of jail. How old, when did you come out? Was you 22?
19.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, about 21,
22.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, when you come back out,
A lot of things changed, don't they?
yeah, but what had changed? I mean, literally.
Well, when he went in, the iPhone 4 was out. When he came out, the iPhone 5 was out. Times are moving fast.
I mean, we should. I know we talked about what happened when you went to jail when you got your dad off for drugs.
Yeah.
But when you come out of jail, was he like literally bang on it, and it was just all going?
See, it was hard to tell at the time because he did take a lot of steroids and go to the gym. He was pumped up, but then he'd have it behind closed doors. So he'd like be massive, about 19 and a half stone, big fella. But then he'd smoke the stuff as well. But when he got bad on the heroin, he just shrumped him down to like 9 stone. But so when I got out, it was still a decent size, but he wasn't proper bad. And then when I was out for a bit, he got proper bad on the stuff. And I thought, fucking hell, man, you know what I mean? I'm going round there, I'm opening
Know what I mean?
the fridge. And when I'm opening the fridge, I'm finding heroin needles everywhere. I'm going into bin in the bathroom and that, and there's heroin needles. Everywhere I'm looking on the ceiling, there's blood squirted all over the walls and all around the back. You know where it's been hitting main arteries and the blood's been fucking squirting everywhere. Do you know what I mean? I mean, not just my dad's blood as well.
That was a very aggressive, do you know what I mean, that one?
In everyone's fucking blood. You get me? You're talking people who's obviously going.
I've got 12 buttons on here, right? That I can have different sound effects on. I might have all of them programmed for different versions of Brett saying, do you know what I mean?
Around and using and that. Their blood as
You know what
well.
I mean?
But don't get me wrong, I've
You know what I mean?
done my dad. But I used to tell him, I said, listen, I'm not having none of these fucking kids around here. And I was just constantly fucking smashing people up, bro.
It must have been. It must have been. I've never
So you are bullying bagheads.
understood why anybody would take heroin, and
No.
people that I know that have told me about people that have actually got addicted to it, whether they started smoking it before they injected it, and they've said like literally once it gets older, you just can't get. You know, it's like the worst thing ever. You know, even if you get help, you go into rehab, you come out, you fucking want it again. There's no cure. I mean, I know some people say they're cured, but someone said to me, you're just one step away from making that fucking
100%. Only one lesson it's ever taught me: I will never in my life ever smoke a pipe or ever have any form of whenever. I've seen what that drug does to you, mate. You know what I mean? So listen, anyone out there what's ever even thinking about
Listen up, kids. Brett's talking.
having a pipe or having, if you're on it now, please get help, because I've seen firsthand what it's done. I've seen my grandma get knives put to her and get TVs took off her.
Jesus.
Through when my dad was on a rampage, it just turns you into an evil man. You get me?
So your dad would rob your grandmum for?
Yeah, then I'd have to fight him. Yeah, literally, I'd have to fight him away from my grandparents while he's got knives out trying to take TVs out of the house.
I mean, that just the image of that is just insane. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
You know what I mean? I've seen some crazy shit, bro. Trust me.
what's the maddest shit? There's got to be. That's crazy, but there must be something madder.
What outside?
Yeah,
outside on the streets. What I've seen people do. I've seen bad things, mate. I mean, especially in jail, since suicide. You know what I mean? Don't get.
I mean, a lot of people. You know, I know when you're in jail, it's people do. Do you think that was attributed to drugs, or do you think that was just people just had enough and they just go, right, I'm going?
A lot of times it's drugs, isn't it? You know what I mean? A lot of drug psychosis. No one on Spice, screaming and shouting to themselves. Like one fella called Coops from Barnsley, I've mentioned it a few times. He cut his own throat in Marshgate. I watched him bleed to death. Screws couldn't get us all to ourselves at the time. I said, "Here, let us help him." He was just gone, mate. He just fucking gone straight from the jugular, died there and then. And then when I've been in old jail, I was a PID worker going up, went upstairs, top landing on his fours, went thing. I heard these screams of these lads, "You gotta get this fucking door open." Going fucking sink kid, just fucking swinging, hanging. You know what I mean? Just off his bed sheet, straight through fucking like dead as a doornail. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fucking bad do, mate. You know what I mean?
And when if you fast forward now, and then like you said, you come out of the jail. There was an incident that was that I knew about with the there was you had a fight in a kebab shop where people tried to kill you, didn't it? Was that
these are all the scars here? Yeah.
Wasn't really a fight by the looks of it.
So, when was that? Was that?
So 2017 to 18 time.
So that was after you come out, after your dad had died.
No, that was before my dad died. That one.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So my dad's only just died recently.
Right.
Last year. So
the thing when he was chopped up was years ago, wasn't it?
basically, what it was.
It's not been. It's not. Well, no, of course no. It's not been in the time period since he's been on YouTube.
England, when they played Croatia, no semi-final World Cup. Not last World Cup, the World Cup before. So they were crazy. So basically, I've gone into this shop. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, all pissed up, young lad, reckless lad. You know what I mean? I'm a rogue. You know what I mean? Sometimes can be a prick. You know, when you're a young lad there. As I've gone in, and obviously the main travellers of the area, main gypsy fellas of the areas, in Doncaster, the ones who come in trying to lay the law down. So me being me, I've just got into it, mate. Crack one of them, crack the other, and don't just like, pulling fucking knives out left, right, and centre. Took a few here to the arms, because obviously they're defensive wounds. And when someone's coming at your head with blades, you got to put the arm. Right. So if you can see one here.
Yeah. Oh, you got the scars, mate. Yeah.
Tattoo through there. My back's even worse. Like you'll see them on Google Images. I've got one from my neck all the way to my ass, shoulder to shoulder. Same as my legs, everywhere. There's not an inch of my body.
I think it was over, Mr. Hen. I think it was over money.
You'll not see a scar on me. And I remember just getting stuck into one of them through the shelf, and I'm battering him. And
through the shelf.
I've already done one of them who's dead now. Kid called Callum. He cracked in before he come in first. And then I was just fighting for my life. About 30
So they're the ones I went to jail for.
minutes on camera. And what I didn't realise is one of the bastards have come behind me. He's stuck straight through my neck here on the left side. Gone from my keys all the way up. I had 200 stitches here. All the way up.
So how many times would you say you were stabbed?
I was stabbed 16 times on that one.
Fucking hell. You beat 50 Cent. He shot 9 times. You got stabbed 17.
I spoke to 50 Cent yesterday and he told me I should keep the grey in my beard. Video coming soon.
Times?
It's like 50 Cent. And I'm still smiling.
50 Cent got shot 9 times.
But that must have been, I mean, I suppose when you're fighting, and I mean, did you actually know they were stabbing you, or was it just literally you just?
My arm, I did. I didn't know I was stabbed in the back or the neck, but my arm, I did. So there was a time where, when I told the first kid come in, because they were coming in that many, I had to put my foot on the main door, so they couldn't all get in at the same time. But because the overwhelming of numbers.
What was it like? Only 2 machete only 2 machete men allowed in the shop at any one time.
There was loads of them. And I was only there on my own in the middle of a shop. And the Asian men whose shop it was, obviously, they'd been armed black that many times. They were pressing the panic alarm, what was underneath, and I never knew none of this. So I'm there kicking the shelf over so no one can get round the back of me to get on me with my
Do news agents have panic alarms? I know, I've seen them, like when you see like America, I would imagine all banks have them, panic buttons. And I've seen them like when, like in films, like I think RoboCop, the guy in the petrol station, he had one. But do just news agents have them? What do they do? So you press the button. What happens? Do the police come? Or does it go through to an alarm company? What? Is that a thing? And that's a legitimate question. I'm not trying to be a smart ass here.
machetes. And then grabbing a couple of bottles here, chucking at them, chucking a couple of bits of this and
Because surely to God, right, you press the panic button and it'd be like, well, I pressed the panic button twice now and he's still getting chopped up 2 foot in front of us. It's not working. Or do you press the button and it makes you panic?
that. And they're coming at me, trying to f***ing lash.
I mean, apparently I've got one, so I should know, shouldn't I?
And I was taking the defensive rules in the
Idiots.
arm at first, but getting a couple of shots off. But my punches were like busting them, busting their nose, busting their eyes. But these are trying to hack my face off, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine a post office. I can imagine anywhere that's like handing out large sums of cash. I can understand that they've got one. But what does it do? Does it go straight through the police, or is there a... You know how like some alarm companies, you pay a subscription and if say you've got interior cameras, there's some of them, they'll have a look. If it's an intruder, they'll contact the police and the police will be sent out. Is it that sort of thing, or does it just go through to 999? They go 10-4, Brett's button's gone off again. Take your time, he's getting slashed up.
Yeah, so, but I thought, I can't let him get to my face, no way. So they got to the next best thing, the neck. You know what I mean? So,
And then how did that end? Did you just pass out, or did it get broken up, or did the police come?
well, there's a video. If you type in Brett May stab on here, it comes up with Lou Fuse, who does all the BKFC videoing for Andrew Bakewell for BKFC. He's put it on his video. It shows me walking around the shop, no top on, covered with all the stab marks all over me.
No top on, you've got no skin on, Brett.
Head to toe in blood, and they've took off and ran off. I was still jumping up around. Don't get me wrong, I was pissed up. You know what I mean? That might have helped me not feel that.
Would alcohol not go against you in that circumstance? Doesn't alcohol thin the blood?
Might not help me feel
Which would make it harder to clot.
the pain, you know what I mean? I don't know, mate. They could have took off because they probably thought, yo, we've stabbed him in the neck here. He's going to die. He's been fighting with us. I don't know. But yeah, they've ran off. I'm still walking around the shop. Fucking Muppets. Fucking let's get on. You know what I
Did you
mean?
have a kebab in that hand?
No, so what I did is there's a
That'd
famous...
be funny.
Rolling hanging out
There's
his
a famous
mouth.
story. They shared it in the press. They said Brett May went for something to eat afterwards, yeah? Right. So everyone's got these fucking visions, yeah?
No, they didn't.
And me sat down, having
was
a fucking
Donald.
Indian while I'm having 16 stab wounds, yeah? So that's when they started calling me the Michael Myers of Doncaster. You know what I mean? Halloween special, bro. I love that. You get me? You know what I mean? So
That's fucking brilliant.
but there's a bit of truth to that, but not a bit of truth. So what I've done is, because I've covered that
There's a bit of truth, but not a bit of truth. I need to go to the
much these
toilet.
stab marks, I couldn't hardly breathe. I thought, mouth's a bit dry. And then the Asian man who shop it was just says, brother, you need to lay down, put your feet up quick. I said, your neck. I looked in the mirror and my neck's just going, zzz, zzz. I thought, fuck, it's squirting, juggler. So I thought, fuck, put my hand on here. I thought, I need to get ambulance quick, I'm going to die. I put my hand there, grabbed this jug of milk, as daft as it sounds, not by that hand, by this hand,
Right.
and then drank this milk as fast as I could, yeah, because there was something what I read. If you stabbed or shot or anything, if you eat something or drink something quick, it puts more bloodstream in you. So I know.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, this is what I read up. So I drank it.
There you go. That's a tip from Brett May. There you go.
And I grabbed, as daft as it sounded, a boost bar, yeah. So I grabbed this boost bar, yeah, and I've got ate it, and there were people recording me outside, and I never even knew. You know what I mean? So they shared it all over. They said he's not bothered. He's been stabbed 16 times, and the fuck is eating a boost bar. You know what I mean? No wonder I'm 21 stone much.
I'm surprised.
You get it?
I'm surprised Cadbury's didn't fucking get on the phone. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking one of them.
Could have
eh,
been
don't
the boost man. Do you know what I mean?
if they can give the beef, will find a boss that. I want Cadbury shares.
I mean, what do you think? That is mad, that I Be for Boss thing, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean,
fucking nuts, mate,
I
yeah.
saw it and I was just like, I didn't quite get why, you know, but people said he looked like a Lego character. And then,
He does though, doesn't he, bro? I want to meet him one day though. He's a funny looking dude.
He's funny. He's funny. But he's probably, I mean, he's DJ now, isn't he? And he's, you know, he probably went there on holiday, just mind his own business.
Mind his business, mate. Some dickheads just recorded him, haven't they? And then before you know it, they've shared it viral. Poor cunt.
I'm sure he enjoys it. I'm sure he's got loads of female attention. He's getting a few quid, so I'm sure he's happy about
Well, the
that.
game of G-Wagon boys wrote it off, hasn't he? Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, he wrote it off with it ain't some by accident. Yeah,
Kid hell.
yeah, madness.
So going back to obviously you then obviously phone 999 after your boost bar.
No, so basically then the Asian man, because I've been pressing it, I just heard all these sirens. Fucking arm responsive coming. Bang. Ran straight in. Mass on the lot. Get down, get down. Like that. It says, you. Just literally grabbed my arms like that. Bit. I said, my neck. They went, no. They had this like fucking emergency fucking like padding and gel. Slapped it straight on my neck. They went, listen, they says, I'm a trained fucking medic. I was in army before arm response. No guns. To be fair with you, man, they saved my life. You get me? I'm not gonna lie about that. I've had my issues with police in the day, but they saved my life that day. You get me? So I'm forever grateful for that. 100%.
Was you singing "Last Night a Policeman Saved My Life"?
But still.
but do you know what? I think there's a, you know, if you're a religious person,
Yeah.
or you believe in God or the universe or whatever it is, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I do think that when your time's up, your time's up.
1,000,000%. And I thought there was a time there. I thought it was coming because I thought fucking I've lost this much blood, and before you know it, I was laid down, my feet up, and literally there was puddles, and I mean puddles of blood. All the ceilings were all blood, everywhere's blood. And one of them who I've been fighting with in the shop, I think he's grabbed the knife wrong. So when I'm hitting him, I'm like hitting him as hard as I can through the shelf. And where he's grabbed the knife, he's grabbed it wrong, and he must have tensed it hard. He's took the top of his finger off. So his blood squirting everywhere from his hand. He's took his finger off. Well, knives getting thrashed around everywhere, mate, rolling around. A couple of them got stabbed in process. Saw their blood. They weren't wearing masks. They weren't wearing gloves. So everything were all on full camera, mate. And it just went viral, mate. Calendar everywhere.
So I take it they all got arrested.
Yeah.
Did you get arrested as well?
I got arrested, yeah.
Right. So everyone got arrested, and what was the outcome of that?
So basically, to get to that, so what happened is after that, they had to keep me in the shop, and then an helicopter, as daft as it sound, had to do a fucking emergency air service
Is he still going on about getting chopped up?
to Sheffield Northern General because Doncaster didn't have the facilities to treat my wounds.
So his most exciting, longest story about a crime on the Criminal Connection podcast is about a crime somebody else committed on him.
So they had to airlift me to Sheffield Northern General Hospital, and when I was airlifted there, I was 18 hours in theatre
Like, he's been to jail that many times. You must have some better stories.
to put me back together again. And then once they put me back together, I can remember coming around, but bearing in mind I'm on a lot of morphine, you know what I mean?
Right.
And as I come around, I just seen all calendar crew and all press, ITV News and all this and that. Yeah, you're all right. I said, yeah, I'm cool. And then all of a sudden, Cindy's a woman and a man push past them, CID. It says, "Oh, we're serious crime unit, blah blah blah. Do you want to make a statement? We've got the culprits here on camera. If you make a statement today, we can give them all like 20, 25 years each." And I said, "Listen," I says, "I ain't been brought up that way." I said, "I don't make statements." You know what I mean?
Right.
I says,
You know what I mean?
"No, nothing against you." I said, "Appreciate what you're doing," but I said, I don't make statements. I'll go court."
Right.
And they went, "You sure?" Last time I went, "I'm sure." They went, "Well, we're sending them down anyway," because it says the camera's crystal clear, the audio's crystal clear, and the Asian men who shop at have made statements. I don't know. I said, "Well, listen, that's not to do with me." Yeah, you know what I mean? I says, "I ain't been brought up that way."
Well, there you go. So Brett May, you got it here, man of honour.
Gotta be, haven't you? Yeah, I mean, you gotta be, man. You know what I mean?
It's not what the newspaper said, though, is it? No, it's not. It's not. Nope.
Can't live on two sides of the fence. I ain't been brought up that way by my dad. You know what I mean? I've never shocked anyone in my life. I think only people, whatever needs grassing up in this world are people and rapists. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's as simple as that. Yeah,
100%. And I've also seen recently, obviously, you've been very vocal about. Are you a Reform fan?
yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because
Oh, good Lord.
I know right now, like there's a massive sentiment in the UK where, you know, people are like worried about sort of uncontrolled immigration. People are sort of saying, you know, the political parties have lost their direction.
God
I
nuts,
mean,
innit?
what's your
I was thinking actually the other day, I wonder what Brett May thinks about this.
views on it, Brett? Because obviously you've been brought up, like you said, in the Thatcher era, right?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
35 now.
Right, okay, 35. Yeah, so I'm 19 years older than you.
19 years, yeah? Oh, come on, son. I thought you were the same age as me, bro.
I'll take that. But you know, how have you seen it change since you was born? I mean,
Of course. I bet you have as well.
massively.
Yeah,
Massively.
I've seen loads. Well, when I was driving in here, I seen Basildon, all the roundabouts and all the lampposts. They're everywhere, all the English flags, aren't they, at the minute? And yeah, I just think, especially with Sadiq Khan and what have you, I just got to be honest with you, I just think he's just let the country down, and massively, I just think when there's war veterans on the streets, you know what I mean, and people are getting the piss took clean out of them, to be honest with you, if that makes sense.
Do we have a huge problem
for
in
me,
this country?
whatever
Do we have a huge problem in this country?
race
with,
you are,
come on, pause. Do we have a huge problem in this country with war veterans as such being on the streets? I'm not saying there aren't any, but like, is it a big thing? Are there like thousands of them?
whatever religion you are,
Yeah.
if you've got a flag and you want to fly it, I'm cool with that. Do you know what I mean? But
100%.
but you know, the thing that grates me is that, you know, we're sort of being made to feel guilty about being British,
100%.
and there's all this fucking shit. Like at Christmas, you know, you can't say Merry Christmas, you can't say Happy Christmas. It's seasons, greetings, happy holidays, and all this bollocks, in case you offend anybody. And it's
100%.
like, look, if I go to a Muslim country and they're celebrating Eid, I'm saying Happy Eid. Do you know what I mean? I do not give a fuck.
No.
I get that one is too many. I agree with that with that statement in full. But it's just, and I know that there was a problem with that in the States. I just didn't know it was a problem in England.
I don't get offended if they say Happy Eid. If I go to America and they're celebrating the 4th of July, and I'm celebrating the 4th of July, but I don't get offended by what other people want to celebrate. I just embrace it.
I'm a big believer, if you're living in someone's area, you have to respect their culture, and our Western culture isn't that third world culture. And when they're trying to upon the Sharia law,
that's far too many.
and third world culture onto us, I don't agree with it. If you want to do that, please do it in Afghanistan, or please do it in Gaza, where
Jesus
I'm originally from. You know what I mean? Otherwise, there's going to be a brush of cultures, isn't there? So I remember someone speaking highly about this. You don't see Palestinians in Jordan waving the Palestinian flag because they won't allow it. You know what I mean? Certain countries, just like Egypt, what's next door to Gaza, they're not taking no one in, are they? It's a touchy subject, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I mean, what are you? I mean, there's all this.
I don't understand, right? I don't understand. Right. So no other country basically in the world takes people in like we do. I don't understand what the people that run this country, or how can I put it, think that could ever possibly benefit us in any way, shape, or form. Like I get they're doing it, and I don't think they should, but I don't understand why they're doing it.
You know, unrest about
like what's the justification for it?
Hotels at the moment, right? Where they're saying why these,
because nowhere else does it, do they?
Why these you know, people being put in these hotels in these areas? I mean, what do you think about that? Because it seems to be the whole of the UK is very unhappy about this at the moment. It's not just a small minority. I mean, obviously in the paper, it's only the far right, but
1,000,000%.
when you talk to everybody's concerned about it. It's not just the far right.
100%. Well, there's a few arguments. To be truthful, speaking in mind, if you see like women and kids coming over, young women and kids, and they're saying, we're getting tortured up here in Somalia, then you can imagine, listen, this little girl's here getting, this woman's getting,
follow the money.
These are fighting fit men from 18 to 35 years of age who are coming here on small boats, and there's been 600,000 let in already, and they just haven't got the room, have they, mate? You know what I mean? There's no statistics to fund them when our war veterans are on the streets, who's fought for our country, who can't get ousted, and people are getting the priority took over them over these. Simple as that.
And for you right now, are you still in Doncaster? You still?
They must have the right. So I'm using the same mic as them, right? They must have the gain on Brett's mic turned right up because he's that far away from it.
Doncaster.
Oh, right, okay. So you're never moving. You're always going to be there, right?
I still stand, man.
Do you still have? Have you had any issues up there with the immigration stuff or not?
Yeah, no, yeah. Listen, every major city in the UK, I believe, now has got a major immigration problem now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I personally believe. Doncaster's got its problems now.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was an incident over there where a guy had his arm chopped off, one illegal alien to another, took his full arm off in the middle of Doncaster Centre, and then started shouting religious context as he were doing it. And then, but they'll never put it on airtime. And then when we've all turned up to the town fields, the police and armed response have got him and took him to the floor. And then they says, "Oh, we think he could be mentally ill, but he wasn't mentally ill. He ended up getting locked up." Right. They'll never air it because they don't want panic and they don't want diverse. You know what I mean?
Right.
I believe in divisions.
And obviously we we went off on a bit of a tangent there. But if we just come back to the moment when obviously you've come out of jail. Obviously you've lost your dad.
Yeah.
The people that actually was selling that shit to your dad, did you actually catch up with them?
Yeah. No. Yeah. But it's one of them. If they want it though, they can get anywhere. There's that many drug dealers, man. And in Doncaster, there's a drug dealer on every street.
Right.
Literally every village in Doncaster is full of drugs. It's rife with it, mate.
See, I always thought Doncaster was a nice place. I've only been through it or
Did you?
went to see a friend there once or twice, but I've not actually been out in Doncaster, so I don't really know what it's like. But it is. I suppose most
Well, you know, a nice place. It's the opposite of that.
towns have got. Or
It's a
cities,
city now, isn't it?
yeah, most cities have got a problem with drugs and homeless
100%.
people and immigrants, and there's probably 20 things that you could say are wrong with every city in England. So
it's like this: if someone's an alcoholic and they want a beer, they're going to get one, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's just as easy to get drugs in Donny as it is to go to a local shop and get beer. It's as simple as that. So if you're not there and your back's turned, you're just going to go to that shop and have a beer behind your back, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's none of these things. You can't stop it. So what I did is, when out before I got locked up, I basically had my dad on house arrest. I'd keep him in the house and I'd say, right then, if I'm going gym, you've got to come gym with me. So I go to the gym, I take him into the gym with me. I say, right, you're staying there. I keep him in my sights. I did this for about 3 months, kept feeding him meals.
You don't go to the gym though?
Kept on gaining like weight gainer and protein drinks. I built him back up, got him off the shit. And I said, look, if you want a drink, you can have a drink. You want some weed? I said, yeah, here's some fucking weed for you as well. Took some weed down on the side like that, just to get anything to get off the fucking smack, you know what I mean? So then I'd give him that there, bam, bam, bang. Before you know it, I'm going back sorted, going back normal. And then obviously, like I said, one of the kids who grasped me up and squealed me up, once he grasped me and he went to Birching Way police station up in Grimsby because he was originally from Scunthorpe area, and that was the nearest police station he could go to. And when he's gone in there, he sat down.
Well, it definitely wasn't Tiny Temper.
It's the ID, and he's like, yo, that's when he told him, he says, I'm a drug dealer. Brett May's been extorting me, telling me I've got to give him thousands of pounds here and there. And then they're like, yeah, no worries, mate. We'll give you full immunity,
Extortion is a naughty charge.
mate. Blah, 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 blah. As long
Do murder sentences for that.
as you're willing to give evidence, mate. And that was it. Weighed me off. Simple as that.
and with when you started doing like the actual bare knuckle fighting, and
Well, Brett was open too, yeah.
then was that after that point, or did you started doing it before? Because I know you
Yeah,
said
no, I did A-Bales. I did Christian Rob.
That's my footage because, yeah, Terry Stone definitely watches this channel because most of the stuff, and this is nicked, I put that timer on the bottom and I zoomed in because the original video was from miles away and I zoomed right in so you can see it closer. That's why part of the Spartan badge is missing because I zoomed in because I made it bigger. Come on, Terry, lad.
But so you know, I got into A-Bale Spartans with Christian.
what year was that?
Oh, I was about 22, 23 year old. No, I wasn't. I was a bit older. I was about, I think about 26. Yeah, 26, 26, 27.
And what led you into that? Was it the money, or was it just like you fancied?
Oh, I just wanted to know before I died that I've had a crack at the A-Bales bare knuckle as well. Because I look at things like thinking, oh, fucking hell, that bare knuckle, I want to get into that. It's something I've got to do before I die.
Right,
if you're a man's man, you think,
Right.
I need to give that a crack. You know what I mean? So I thought, give it a crack. Yeah, knock the kid out in a few seconds. But the fight, the first ever Spartans A-Bales show was in Doncaster, you see.
The reason I ask people to put a one in the chat is because it makes us feel good about myself as to how much of an instant response I can get from you.
If you speak to Christian, he'll tell you.
It's got nothing to do with the algorithm or helping the channel in any way, shape, or form. It's to massage my ego.
So I got the main event on the night there for the world champion for A-Bales. But it was just after about the same attack with the knives and what have you, around about that same time. So after that we're done, I was just recovering. And I got told there was going to be a planned fucking shooting on me at the event. So Christian was aware of it. If you speak to Christian, he'll tell you the same. And there were a lot of travelling community what turned up there, and there was getting phone calls saying, look, if you turn up to this fight today, we're going to fucking blow your leg off. We're going to blow this, we're going to do that. And I had videos getting sent to me on Snapchat, people with sawing off shotguns, fucking machetes telling me what they're going to do to me if I turn up. And as you're aware, when you're in situations like that, it's hard for a lot of friends to stick by you because a lot of people don't want the trouble coming to the doors. Does that make sense? If people's got kids and families, they don't want fucking lawyers going through their house, do they?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
See, watch this, right? Watch this. Put a 1 in the chat if you think rape is wrong.
Because that's exactly what happens. Any bit of trouble up my ways, it's just straight. Fuck you. Lorry will go straight through the house. Bang. Missus and kids will get put into fucking council thing, and then nobody wants it. Everyone's shit scared.
See who the first funny person is who's going to put 2 for a... There we go. There we go. There we go. It was obvious, wasn't it? It was so obvious. Shadowboxers in the house. Jesus Christ almighty.
Drive a lorry into your fucking house.
Yeah, some loads of lorries get put through houses, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking pretty mad, isn't it?
Well, what you do is it's you just save the jail time, you see, because if you burn an house down, you're talking 20, 25 years, nobody has intent to endanger life. But you put a lorry straight through a house, it's criminal damage over £5,000. So then that way you'll only cop for about 4 years if you did get found guilty.
Right, wow.
You know what I mean? And these days, these people who organise crime are not going to do it. They're going to send 2 fucking crazy crackheads or 2 crazy smackers to put it through while they're on a fucking beach somewhere. Do you know what I mean? That's how they roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, and trust me, I've had a lot of hits put on me.
How many would you say?
I've had a good few serious hits put on me. Yeah, I talked about on one of them.
Was it because of the robbing of the drug dealers, Brett, or was it other
Bit
stuff?
of everything. I say I've had a lot of fights with a lot of gypsies. I beat a lot of gypsies. I've had a lot of fights with a lot of organised figures, criminal figures. I beat them, and they just want the revenge sometimes, don't they, mate? I survived a shooting a bit back outside Miller and Carter in Donny. The car comes behind me. I was with my cousin Joe Woods from Morens. I had to slam into the side of the car. I mentioned this on.
I used to give everybody's full name and where they're from in every story he tells.
On Not Guilty TV podcast, I think, a bit back. Fucking kid hangs out outside with a bang, 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 puts fucking 3 fruit back with 9mm. I thought, fuck, here we go. There's no what you can do. No man, no matter how large you are, you can't beat a gun. No matter who you are. So I fucking jumped into the lower side of the passenger, tucked in, and just could see the fragments just ripping through the fucking dashboard, going through back window and through window screen. That would high powered a 9mm. So usually what they do is, how you can tell, like usually an high powered 9mm to a normal one. A lot of people get the replicas and the drilling, you see, and when they do that, the only bullet holes only go straight through the window. But when it's the real thing, the real Russian or the real American, bang, going through back window, window screen. If it hits you, you're dead. You know what I mean? Simple.
Wait a minute.
I called him because my cousin's good.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to balance this mic on the desk so I don't have to hold it, but it's not working. So if it's a drilled out one, it'll only smash 1 window, but if it's a real one, it'll smash 2 windows. I don't believe that's true.
Wait, what the f going on? The shooting
I'm not going to Miller and Carter with you ever again.
He said the shooting at us, the shooting at us.
Brett will do anything to get out of paying the bill at Miller and Carter, won't he?
And I said, yeah, fucking ram him. He's like, what do you mean ram him? I said, fucking ram him, you fucking pussy. Grab the fucking thing. Bang, I thought they're going to kill us. So I've grabbed his steering wheel. I said, put your foot down. He's put his foot down. Woof, push. Crush through the side of him here. But it were all caught on camera, on the traffic lights. And because it were all caught on the traffic lights, they've ended up getting arrested and that, and same again. Police had come to me and says, right, we've got these people.
Well, we don't need a statement, do we not? We've got it all on camera, but we came to see if we'll give one anyway.
Well, yeah. Unlucky for one of them, they didn't use any stolen cars. They used their cars with their own license plates. Yeah,
that's clever, isn't it?
I must piss people off that much, yeah? They must just think, hold on a minute, let's get in this fucking car and shoot this bastard today.
Well, it is mad, though.
I mean, I've got to be honest, right? I only watch his videos now. I've thought about it a couple of times.
I think that somebody would actually basically plan a murder because if they're shooting at you and hit you, it would have killed you, right?
100%, yeah.
And they're driving along with their plates on. I mean, if they would definitely got 250 quid on that, damaged criminals.
I don't think it was too much planned there because the last area where I was just before.
I don't think you get any money for being on there, dumb as criminals.
Went to Mill and Carter. I forgot to mention.
I think you've got that mixed up with a Jeremy Beagles, you've been
I
framed.
turned up and I went to give one of them a good hiding. You know what I mean?
Oh, you forgot that bit.
Yeah. So I've like basically landed on them, turned up, braid on a few fucking doors and that, put the fear of God in them. Did something what I won't say off on camera, do you know what I mean? But into level of fucking violence. And they've obviously thought, we can't take this guy head on. We'll fucking load up. So they loaded the fucking shooters up, loaded the masks on, loaded the gloves, and yeah, fucking Boris the bullet dodger, mate. You know what I mean?
Boris the bullet dodger.
Original
You've
snap.
got so many names, Brett.
Is that Boris?
You've got the Doncaster Destroyer that I made up earlier. You've got Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee's been dead 50 years. We're back in the reincarnation.
You've got, you know, I mean, it's just mad. I mean, you have had
He's no more Bruce Lee than Danny Grayson from Smerick is a fucking Viking.
a crazy life. I mean, I can't believe, and I suppose it's really been from birth, right? So
In war from birth, mate. Literally. Honestly, anything for a good life. That's why now I want to get my money and I want to disappear, mate. You get me? You know what I mean? Chill out and have a normal life.
and out of your fights, obviously you
He has one for the Laffertys. What's the Ibiza final boss and Brett May got in common?
started off because with the hay bales, you was undefeated in those, weren't you?
In the feet and A-bells, yeah.
How many did you have in?
2.
Right, so you had 2. And with the bare knuckle stuff, did you box? Did you have the gloves as well? Was it mainly bare knuckle?
Not bare knuckle in the A-bells. For boxing gloves wise, but like I said there on the A-bells one, when they finally said about these threats, I've drove on. There's been a lot of good fighters there who watched at the time. There were Butch Brown from Doncaster, a load of others, and no one could believe it. As I drove through the crowd, I just seen all these people waiting. All these people said they're going to kill him. Bearing in mind, I've just survived attempt murder through my neck, and it's the same fucking firm who I've been fighting with these knives. They're all there. They're all waiting. And
Did you beat me to it, Amy?
like, nah, he's not got the bollocks. He's not got the fucking bollocks to turn up here and fight. I thought, if I turn up, I could die, but I thought, I'm going to have to. I just drove. No security, no bouncers, no nothing. 3 miles into a quarry in the middle of fucking nowhere, yeah? Fog lights,
3 miles into a quarry.
about fucking
Miles.
300 of my enemies, if not more, and they're all going to me when I'm walking, fight, you're fucking dead today, you. Don't shout.
I must have shook your hand though, because the
Yeah,
fact
no,
that
they
you
shook me
actually turned up.
Turn up on my own, I didn't.
Well, the fact that he turns up means that this story's probably not true.
And was
Come
like, you know, I'm not bothered. They must have just gone, actually, you know what, this kid's all right.
A few of them shook my hand, but a couple of them, when my fight happened, started jumping on the A-bales. Fucking fight me, you bastard. Yeah, it kind of flared up, it kicked off. And then if Christian will tell you about it, yeah, and the show kind of went up in smoke. There were a bit of fucking aggro and hell on, you know what I mean?
Now, I'm
And
going to
then,
do a clip
I
about
had
this bit because I've got an actual statement from Christian to read out about this fight and what happened. But I'm going to do another video just on this bit.
Fight. Put it this way, I turned up, I had my fight, I won, I got back in the car, I went and got pissed. Have that. You know what I mean? Have that.
And out of your fights, obviously, I've seen online. There was you and Decker were going to go at it. You never fought though. Did you?
No, I think this. I'm not sure, but I spoke to Dougie Joyce this morning before I come and see you. I told you, and he's putting me on his main event on 3D Fight Club.
Was that a George Michael lookalike there wearing a 3D Fight Club?
This big beef with Danny
jacket.
Christie as well.
Yeah, Danny Christie.
Well, I'm going
not
too
sure.
far.
And if Christian will tell you about it, yeah, and the show kind of went up in smoke. There were a bit of fucking aggro and hell on. You know what I mean? And then yeah, I had my fight. Put it this way, I turned up, I had my fight, I won, I got back in the car, and I went and got pissed. Have that. You know what I mean? Have that.
And out of your fights, obviously, I've seen online. There was you and Decker were going to go at it. You never fought though.
No,
did you?
I think this. I'm not sure, but I spoke to Dougie Joyce this morning before I come and see you. I told you.
Because I gotta have faith, baby.
I
know you're asking me to say,
on 3D
please,
Fight
please,
Club.
please, don't go away.
First Saturday in October, and Decker could be a potential opponent about that. He could be sharing things all over. I want Brett May so bad. I want Brett May.
The only thing Decker's sharing at the minute, the only thing Decker's sharing at the minute is needles.
So we can have Brett May.
Right, because I've seen him, and I also saw there was this big beef with Danny Christie as well.
Yeah, Danny Christie. Yeah, so Me and Danny's had a few words.
It's got an actual hedgehog on the screen. That's my video. Terry.
Dexter had a few words. I turned up to fight Danny about 3-4 weeks ago. I was under, some fellas were raising some cash to pay us both privately in a purse. And then they get to keep the PPV money, which I think they were estimating to do 6 figures for. And then me and him were going to get a private purse.
Right.
So I was all up for that. But I made it very clear, if you watch my YouTube videos, I said, look, this fella's turn up unannounced into Donny, because it wasn't a planned thing, say like, me and you, Danny, will fight at this date 12 weeks down the line, or 8 weeks or 4 weeks. He's basically just put a video, Brett May, I will be coming into Doncaster this Friday. I've been in touch with some lads. We're both going to get paid an excessive amount of money to fight. It's happening. So me personally, I thought he was trying to trick me out of a fitness camp. So I thought, I'll tell you what, I'm going to use my size to my advantage. So I finally replied to Danny. I sent him a message and I put it on the internet. No problem, mate. We'll fight you. But it's MMA rules all in like that. But I tell you what I will do. I will take biting and eye gouging off the table. If I turn into Carlisle, Cumbria, I can't just turn up unexpected and say, hold on a minute. Can we have 3 2-minutes, mate, and put these 4-ounce gloves on? Don't
Why?
like that, does it? You're turning up into my area.
Well, hold on. If there's 40 grand cash waiting there for you, right, and it's pre-agreed, he hasn't just turned up, has he? Has he? Let's be honest here. No.
Got to fight my fight. So my plan was just going to pick him up, slam him off his fucking head and ground and pound him unconscious, bro. Right, innit?
I tell you what, I actually saw a fight with Decker
And Danny.
Good fight. And when you actually see that fight, Decker looks like twice the size of him.
Decker will chicken him around, man.
And I did actually think, hell, like Danny's going to cut, but I mean, Danny is a good fighter.
Very good, yeah.
And when I saw that fight, at the end of it, I was like, man, I mean, what a war. That was, you know, when you talk about, I mean, I'm a massive boxing fan, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that many bare knuckle, but
no.
I'm a massive boxing fan as well. Can I categorically say, after watching a lot of both sports, I very, very much do prefer professional boxing.
I did watch that, and I did think that was like one of them super fights
Yeah,
where they both went at it and didn't give up. And
No, they were a great fight,
yeah. Yeah, and they're both, I mean, to both guys, Decker and to Danny Christie, I'll take me out to both of them because they were both amazing fighters. But for you, obviously, I suppose really those two guys, if you fight either of those guys and beat them, obviously that's going to elevate your status, and you're going to be able to say, well, I actually beat the guys that we were like calling out and having the beef with. We're actually getting it on now. Do you know what I mean?
100,000,000%.
but with Decker, if you fought Decker, you'd fight him bare knuckle or in hay, or would you do it with gloves?
Whichever, gloves, bare knuckle, MMA rules, whichever. Because he had an MMA one not long ago, didn't he, with Robbie Brown? Did you watch it?
I didn't see it, no.
No, did you not watch it? No, Robbie Brown was a lot lighter, but he ended up beating Decker and made him tap. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, whichever rules. If it's organised, even Danny, I'd fight Danny in his Queensbury rules, how he wants it. If he sets the date in the tone and it's there, no problem, get it on. But if someone randomly turns up into my area within a day or 2 days' notice and starts dictating to me, telling me what rules they have, it don't work like that, mate. Fight my rules.
Yeah, because it does. Because that's one thing that I've noticed. It seems like if you're on social media or if you're following you, like you must have 100 people a fucking day calling you out.
Fucking nightmare, mate. Everyone wants a piece, don't they? You know what I mean? Huh? Everyone wants a piece. Them fucking Q boys.
No, but it is mad. Like everybody, and then obviously, what I love is whenever you post a video, there was some of you training and stuff with your sunglasses on.
Yeah,
and that one just made me laugh because people were going, "Why has he got his sunglasses on?"
Why is that fucking knobhead got fucking sunglasses on?
But
gets to him, doesn't it, bro? I love it.
But what is the reason for the sunglasses?
Why?
It's just because
It's because it looks cool, bro.
Right, but that's what I mean. But the thing is, some people do social media stuff, to get the interaction or the likes.
Yeah.
But whenever I watch your stuff, I always think you're just fucking having a laugh. Do you know what I mean? You're being you, and then people are going, "Oh, why are you doing it? Why are you doing that?"
Fucking hating on me. Yeah? Hating on me. Haters. Fucking haters all over. Yeah. Nah, I'm just being natural, me, mate.
Right.
I'm just having a laugh, having a buzz, just doing my thing. And if people take it the wrong way,
So for you, obviously moving forward now, whatever fights you've got. I mean, at 35, how long would you reckon you got left before you sort of call it a day?
I want to get all my hardest fights out before I'm 40. So I want to get these big ones out the way here. I want this, obviously, a possible talk on the Misfits show with KSI.
Right.
That's the one with Danny, what they were trying to push onto. But obviously Darren Till's called out Carl Frochani on next one. I know Dougie Joy said to me as well this morning he wants to fight Darren Till. He's put it on his Instagram.
Right.
But no, I'd like to fight on the Misfits there. Danny or whoever, Decker on main event, it'd be bang on.
So for you, if someone was to say,
I'll fight Darren Till, I'll fight anyone on that.
Brett, looking for the next 5 years, what are the fights for you? Definitely Danny Christie, definitely
Decker
Heggie, and then who else?
Obviously, I like to fight Paul Venis as well when I get them out of the way. They are Paul's possibility there. So yeah, no, I like to get these big fights out of the way.
I mean, those three are all great fighters. So I think having fights with them, and Darren Till, I mean, you know, he's again, you know, Froch. Everyone's saying why would Froch come out and fight Darren Till because he's a Hall of Famer, and also Froch is 48, and he did say like when he came out of boxing, he had his nose done. And he retired. So, you know, there's not really...
But he said he was coming back. He said he'd come back out, didn't he, to do it or something?
Do you know what? For me, I mean, I know Carl, right? And I think if he's offered a load of money, he'll probably do it.
I like his YouTube channel, mate. He's got a good YouTube channel
brilliant.
as well. I love him, man. Yeah, he's a legend. I like it when he goes on John Fury and that.
How do you get on to Carl Froch? What's he got to do with Carl Froch?
Well, he was going to...
Chris, member for 6 months. Terry Stone... really scraping the barrel here. You could scrape the barrel even lower. Get me on. Terry, get me on your podcast.
We was doing a film and he was going to be in the film.
Was he?
But then he couldn't do it because he was doing something else. But I've known Carl probably about 15 years.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him recently. But you know, I've obviously was a Froch fan before I met him.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, he's tough. When he fought Groves and everything, his stance,
I love Froch.
His hands down.
I was at both Froch and Groves fights.
A lot of fights with his face forward, but he's got a chin and out.
I was at Canelo Crawford last night. What a time to be alive.
But I remember that first fight, and I was on the edge of my seat, and then obviously he pulled it out of the bag, and then there was the rematch, and I said to him, I said, you know, what was going through your head? On the rematch, and he said I underestimated him in the first one. Thought I was going to walk through him, and he said he caught me, right, because I was being silly. But he said on the rematch I was going to do him, and I said, when did you know you was going to do him? He said when he was rehearsing the bus walk or whatever it was. When he was on the bus, and he was more worried about the bus thing than actually the fight, and he was like, I've got him. Do you know what I mean?
No, he sparked Groves, like, didn't he? But don't get me wrong, he underestimated him start when Groves put him down, didn't he? So,
but that second fight, I mean, I thought, you know, when you talk about defining fights, when he fought Kessler, it was just like, it was a great fight, but it was just 12 rounds on points. Whereas when you watch that, it was like two fellas going at it.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I was going to put a bet on Crawford to win by knockout, and I didn't because I was late. Well, I was going to be late getting to the stadium if I had gone and put it on, and please I didn't because I'd have lost.
One's going.
Especially, I think, did he lose one to Andre Ward, I believe? Yeah. You know what I mean? And when he fought Andre Ward, don't get me wrong, Andre Ward's a great fighter, chess player, but I just thought he was fucking boring to watch. You know what I mean? I thought, a bit like Mayweather, he stay out of the way, and they'll just drag it out, won't they? Like that Turkey El Sheikh said, now he won't have anyone who jabs and runs. He'll only have pure action fights on, or you'll never get back on his show.
Well, I think people, you know, as a boxing fan, as a fight fan, you want to see a KO, you want to see a fight. You don't want to see people dancing around. No. I mean, look, if you're a boxing purist, you might enjoy watching people dance around for 12 rounds, but most people want to see somebody get up. I know it sounds terrible.
No, it's right. A lot of boxing trainers will be pissed off at my comments here, but it's a known fact in a lot of boxing gyms, especially.
I don't think anybody gives a toss what you think about boxing, if I'm being honest.
Ingles Gym, Sheffield. Old gym what I was at in Doncaster, Ian Alcock's.
How much for a ticket for last night? I think mine was 800.
The old saying is hit and not get hit. And that's the style how they get brought up, don't they? Hit, don't get hit. Jab, move, pivot, move around. Don't back up in a straight line. Keep moving around. Tire him out. And a lot of people can appreciate the skill. But if you're like me and I'm like you, we want to see two fucking beasts go at it, toe to toe. Both of them go into trenches, covered head to toe in blood. And we want war, don't we? That's what I think real men want to see. We don't want to see, oh, look at me, look at footwork. Oh. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what I mean?
And for you, Brett.
Was that Brett quote there? You know what I mean?
People can appreciate the skill, but if you're me, we want war, don't we? That's what I think real men want to see. We don't want to see, oh, look at me, look at footwork. Oh. You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And Brett, you know, with you,
People can appreciate. We want war, don't we? And we want war, don't we? And we want war, don't we? That's what I
This video is too long for me to loop it, but I will.
think real men want to see. We don't want to see. Huh? Oh, look at me! Look at footwork. Oh, oh. You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean? Yeah.
and for you, Brett, you know, with your, are you fight ready every day, or do you go into like a camp?
Well, to be fair with you, like I say, I'm 130 kilogram now. I'm nowhere near as the fit I want to be now. But if I hit you, I'm knocking you out. Totally honest with you. I have to take a bit of weight off now for my next fight. Get a bit fitter. But no, yeah.
And what I'm
for a street fight, I'm ready any day.
But I'm interested in your thing. So Danny Christie comes out and says, right, we'll do it on this date, and you've got 3 months or 2 months or however long it is.
Anytime.
What would your training camp entail? Would you be doing a lot of cardio? Would it be weights? Would it be sparring? What would it be? Or would it be?
Mine would be pure cardio now because the power and explosion's already there. No matter who I hit, I hurt. You know what I mean? And it's as simple as that. And I believe someone who's fucking 30, 40 kilogram lighter than me, if I'm hitting them, I'm breaking them.
Right.
You know what I mean? No matter what. So that's why you got weight divisions for a reason.
Yeah.
But this jumped up middleweight wants it, so he can have it.
Who you talking that jumps up middleweight? Who's that?
Danny, innit?
Oh, so that is that how much he weighs?
He was. He jumped to, I think, middleweight BKFC when he won his title, yeah.
So he's a middleweight, but Decker's heavy. You're saying?
Shut up, Mr.
He's
X.
heavy, yeah. So
Right. Okay.
if you look on the first fight with...
Because I thought was when I saw that Danny Christie and Decker fight.
Yeah.
I did think
weight difference.
I did think Decker looks a lot bigger.
Yeah,
but I didn't realise it was heavyweight, middleweight.
Yeah, heavyweight, middleweight, yeah. So Decker, fucking hell, when Decker's pumped up, he's about 18, 19 stone, isn't he? He's not the tallest man in the world, but he's a stocky fella. Danny is a bit shorter than me in height, but he's lean and he's fit with it, isn't he? Yeah. He's shredded. And yeah, he was just beating Decker on the straight shots, but as you could see when Decker was walking through on that fight, prodding, hitting him, he was sending him flying. He put him on the knee twice. He went from one side of the ring to the other. Danny had to go on the knee, get his breath. Fuck. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. He got big, sharp knuckles. He split Decker's head. And yeah, don't get me wrong. He's both man. I have credit where it's due.
Yeah.
But I just personally thought if it was a dog fight, if it was a Danny knocked on his door that day, Decker would have wiped him out that day. Just by sheesh. You could see he was chucking him around, couldn't you, a bit? You know, the power. But if it were pure toe-to-toe, and it kept on going in an open space, Danny could have took it. Could have gone either way, couldn't it?
Right.
That's my personal opinion.
And with you know, you
Danny won that fight. If that had been a proper boxing match, right, it would have been stopped because of Decker's cut. End of story.
Obviously, there's been a few controversies online.
So Danny would have won that by TKO.
What would you say was?
Couldn't give a fuck what you think. In my opinion, which people keep trying to change, there's no argument that Decker won that fight.
Is there anything that has been online that you've actually like wanted to fucking say? Well, actually, this is actually what happened. So you know, or have you already done that?
Also, like this last one, what's just gone off here now with me and Danny. So when he's basically said I'll be in Doncaster at this time, he's then put it all over saying he's in a Doncaster hotel, but he won't say where it is. Don't blame him due to the Paul Venis incident last time he said he was in a hotel.
So what happened? Tell us about the Paul Venis incident.
Mate, to be fair, to me it was more fucking fun to make Paul shit himself a bit. So basically what happened is I was supposed to be barred off the BKFC. Everyone said Brett May's barred off the BKFC.
How much does that look like some form of computer-generated thing, doesn't it? It doesn't. I know this is Brett's real BKFC walker, but it doesn't look real.
Paul
look at
it. Of it. So basically what happened is I was supposed to be barred off the BKFC. Everyone said Brett May's barred off the BKFC. I was
you are barred off
the BKFC against Rob Cunningham when they come to UK. And it was MVP versus Platinum Mike Perry who were headlining the show. And when I jumped out the fucking ropes of the ring, I didn't know I wanted. So when I've gone to the fucking changing room, you've got Danny Christie there, you've got Mickey Terrell there, you've got all these here. I thought, who the fuck's this? Next thing you know, they went, don't make it hard for us, mate. Pulled fucking taser on me, please. And back I said, what? I said, what are you doing? And he says, the warrant out for your arrest. So now I've got Andrew Bakewell, all them who are on BKFC going, what the fuck's going off? We can't be having this on our show. We've got 13,000 people here. Fucking none of this. None. I says, listen, sorry about this, guys. I said, I didn't even know I fucking wanted. They went, Brett, let's not make it easy. So I said, put cuffs on. So put cuffs on behind my back here, arrested me. In back changing rooms.
What was that? What had they arrested you for? What was that for?
ABH. Like that, yeah. ABH, no one's pressed charges, but said I've had a fight in town, and it's caught on camera me having a fight with this fella, but no one's pressed no charges in Donny Town. So anyway, I'm cuffed up like that. I thought, where am I going? Says, you're going to St. Thomas Police Station.
So there wasn't any on police.
In London, mate. Push. I said, all right, Paul, I've got about 12 coppers here taking me out of Ovo Arena in Wembley. As I've come
I
out,
thought he was coming out for the ring walk.
yeah, so I've just had my fight, yeah. So I said, why didn't you just...
It would be quite fitting if 12 coppers walked into the ring, wouldn't it? Terry, I like you.
Just let me know beforehand. And he says, we found out due to promoter like that, done some digging, that you've had something like 500 people turn up to watch you. He said, we didn't want pandemonium. I said, no problem. I said, thank you for letting me have my fight then first. I said, I appreciate that. They went, no worries. They went, you ready for police station? I thought, I have to think fastly. I thought, oh, mate, my head hurts a bit now, mate. I said, I've been fighting bare knuckle. You're going to have to take me hospital for CT scans. I said, I think... I've got hemorrhages on brain, mate. Like that, yeah.
What the fuck was that?
A bit of a shiner coming up, where we fighting bare knuckle and that, yeah. So then they took me into the hospital. They went, oh, he's going to be waiting here a while for x-rays and scans. So it's all right, mate. So I'm not going nowhere. Wait, put my feet up, shoulder how it handcuffs. And about 10 coppers just sat in the hospital with me for hours and then took me to the police station eventually. And then bang, you released me next morning without charge. I said, sorry about that, it's procedure. We should have seen everyone outside Wembley there. Brett May, taking pictures while I'm cuffed up like this.
So how come we've never seen a single picture? Didn't happen, did it, Brett?
In boxing shirts, no t-shirt on. You know what I mean, madness.
So what was that? What was that? Wembley? Was that in the
Ovo?
Oh, the Ovo, right?
Yeah,
okay.
the Ovo one, yeah.
Okay. And what was that? That was a
BKFC, that one, yeah.
But then they actually banned you from the.
No, so there's a lot of people said I got banned.
But you didn't.
Nah, because obviously a lot of people go pals with Bakewell and that, and I've had a couple of words with Bakewell, but me and Bakewell are all right. We just have a bit of banter, you get me?
Right.
And then Conor McGregor chipped into the firm now, hasn't he?
Right.
With Dave Feldman. But yeah, I'm not banned because then it got announced me and Paul Venis to fight afterwards.
Right.
And then just shared the posters all over.
And then you got banned.
Brett May versus Paul the Venis.
They didn't share the posters all over. There was a JPEG image shared on Facebook that was very quickly removed.
It's menace, yeah. Thought, here we go. Hard fight, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? So I'll training my balls off. And he starts getting online.
It was up for that short of a time. I've never actually seen a screenshot of it.
And going, I'll be in Doncaster in this hotel. This fucker's got no shout. They don't like trying to belittle me, thinking he could come into my area, do a hotel, do podcasts around my area. You don't see me in Middlesbrough, you know, do you know what I mean?
Don't see anywhere.
You're poking the bear a little bit too much, you know what I mean?
Right.
So then when he's turned up into this hotel, Mount Pleasant, what I know very well, I've stayed in there loads of times. I got wind of it. So what I did is I turned up unexpectedly, yeah, and I started ringing him up outside. You know, hello, I'm outside.
Diggy the hair. Terry's having his life, and he.
You think you could come around fucking here, bro? I says, I'm outside, so come out. So I've got your fucking medicine for you right here. So yeah, he's gone, who's this? I says, you know what this is? I said, this is Brett, bro. I said, here now, walk outdoors. I said, make sure you leave your missing room. I said, you're a dead man. Perform that next minute. Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many times somebody got dropped. If the fight stopped, the fight's stopped.
He's ringing back, yeah. He's like, what? Your hotel's put FaceTime onto him. Got this fucking balaclava on, yeah. Got this balaclava on him, pal.
And he took tactical knees as well. He wasn't dropped.
Oh, like that. I'm like, me.
Just knows what he's doing.
Paul said, this ain't no fucking fight. You've made this personal now. It's here. He's absolutely shit him, saying, yeah. He rang Andrew Bakewell up on the BKFC. And he said to Bakewell, I'm not fighting this man. This man's a scumbag. He's turned up to the hotel with balaclavas on, blah, blah, blah. And then they all took it very seriously. Yeah, and fucking kicked me off the show.
You know, but I suppose really what you was doing was just typing it up, right?
Yeah, fucking just selling, just having a bit of a buzz. And this fucker's absolutely shit his pants ready for him. Did you
put that on? You put it on social media as well?
Yeah, put it on social media, mate. Yeah, for all over YouTube. If you type in Brett May, Paul Venis
right
hotel, it's all there for you.
And what did he do after that? He said he pulled out the fight.
Mate, he did a few videos afterwards. He was sat there with a fucking steak knife in the fucking room going, if anyone comes in this room for me, I've got this. Right, mate, it was fucking awesome, mate.
Right. Yeah, because I've not seen I've actually not met Paul. I've spoken to him a few times, but I've obviously seen him fight, and again, he's another good fighter.
100%.
But he shouldn't have poked the
Poked the bear, man. You know what I mean? Come on, man. The guy just got booked him saying a weekend at a hotel, basically on my doorstep. And he thinks he's going to take videos after slagging me off online, walking up and down. It'd be a fucking muppet for me not to turn up. Just like he'd be a muppet if I were outside his house in an hotel taking videos everywhere. You know what I mean? There's some things you don't do. You don't come into one another's area. Don't piss in my pond. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
So
what's that? There's one thing you don't do. You don't let people turn up in your area. Do you not?
So,
you sure about that, Brett?
Right now, Brett, what? Because hearing about your story, I mean, it's so fucking crazy, right? And your life has been so mad, right? Have you ever thought about actually doing a book or doing sort of like a documentary?
Atwood said he was going to get back in touch with me for documentaries and books. I've not had the time to knuckle down, but I'm going to do a book. Yeah,
I think a book would be good, and also I think one.
Do you think it'll be a colouring in book, but the first ever colouring in book that's already coloured in?
One of the things we haven't talked about is obviously mental health.
Yeah,
and I know you said that you was diagnosed with these different things.
Yeah.
How have you found that doing the fighting and the training? Have you found that that's actually helped? With
therapy than anything, I don't take no medication.
ADHD isn't mental health; it's neurological.
And,
it's a neurological disorder.
The best therapy in the world. You get out in the morning, you do that run, it can save your life. I mean, it's as simple as.
Could cost you your life as well. You could get run over while you're running.
That they can sit you down and feed you as many tablets as they want, but then you're going to get hooked on that medication, and then after a year, 2 years, you're not going to get off that medication.
Do you think Terry Stone took him out for an all-you-can-eat crayon buffet after this?
My advice to anybody out there struggling for mental health or anything, get out, do that running, or if you can't run, a bit of cycling or a bit of swimming.
I couldn't agree more with that statement.
Just to help you, because it will save someone's life. I used to advise kids in prison and that all the time, lads who were cutting the wrists every day, cutting the necks. And I used to say, look, come with me. And I used to take them running on exercise yard. I'm going to take them running on exercise yard. They'd come back and say, thank you very much, mate. So I'm going to kill myself last night. And when you look in the eyes of someone who's in your cell and you can tell they're genuine, and said, I was just going to do my son. Said, well, no, here for me no more. I'm going to kill myself last night. And I said, look, mate, don't ever do a thing like that. Everything like that, you come here, you come see me, do you know what I mean? No problem. And it changed people's lives. Next minute, they're built bigger than me, fit as fiddles now, looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? Literally, no, it can set people off on the right path. You know what I mean? I like to see things like that. I like to see drug addicts turn into athletes. I like it. You know what I mean? I like to see the man who's begging on the street, asking for pennies and pounds, and then make millions of pounds. I'm that guy. You know what I mean? I love seeing that.
I think that's one thing that England has wrong. People don't celebrate success.
100%.
And I think everybody should be celebrated. Everyone should be encouraged because, where I come from, I lived on a council estate and everybody basically on that estate was like, stay in your lane, get married, get a council house, get a job, have a kid. It was like, it was like a system that you had to follow. And I always thought there's got to be more than just this. Do you know what I mean?
I said ADHD is a neurological disorder. It's a brain disorder.
You brought them all, didn't you, bro?
But if somebody had told me that, I had to tell myself that. But I think that is a good message, really, to tell everybody that's watching or listening to this podcast. It doesn't matter how bad you think things are, or like you said, you could be on the streets with nothing. Yeah. But then if you
ADHD is basically a brain defect.
Actually go, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. There's always going to be a way of.
But I think it's fucking meant
of making your own luck. But you've got to be open to it, and you've got to be prepared to work.
100 million.
I mean, look at what you've done. You've done the Taekwondo, you've done the amateur boxing.
Taekwondo, man. I forgot about Taekwondo, man. He's told that many porkies between now and then. I forgot about Taekwondo, man.
Then you did the bare knuckle. What MMA did you do? Because you were saying about...
I didn't do no MMA fights. I did a bit of training as MMA. So I went to Clay Lane Jiu-Jitsu Club, did a lot of Jiu-Jitsu in there. But I never managed to have any fights, but I know all the basics, everything, all the good stuff to do, yeah.
Right. So
I'm pretty good at it. You don't have to be good on it if you land on them at a fucking 130 kilogram.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
There's no escape. Yeah. And with your when you sort of check out at 40 and say, right, I'm not fighting no more, I'm done.
Yeah.
What's Brett May doing in the future?
I'd like to, I don't know.
You're going to be sat on a desert island with a
hope so.
woman, some kids,
I don't know.
margarita.
I mean, yeah, I hope so. I hope it.
Is Margarita the name of the woman?
I hope it's that way. Not
The name of the Spanish prostitute.
Foreign Legion, mate. It's right. Now,
Can you make children with a willy that small? I'm just asking.
that's the plan, man. Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully, mate. When I'm done, I like to chill out in the sun, miss his kids, and just relax and be forgot about, really.
Right.
And just put all this behind me and just use it all as memories.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And if you was to look back now on your life and looked at obviously the times when you've been nicked and the violence and the crime and all that sort of stuff, do you look back on it and regret any of it, or do you just think it's part of what's made
Because the only thing that he runs is his mouth.
you who you are?
If you live your life in regrets, then it's a very dark place to go down that road. Do you know what I mean? So you got to look at everything as you've either learned or had a lesson from it. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's no point me saying coulda, woulda, shoulda, because it's never going to do anything. I wish we all. I think every human in this country wishes they had hindsight at some point, don't they? Yeah. You know what I mean? So you just got to play the cards you dealt with. You've gone through these turmoils, you've gone through these lessons, and improve yourself on being a better character in the world.
But do you think that if you'd have gone through all the stuff you've gone through, which you've done, right? If someone actually said to you, Brett, I'm going to take you back in a fucking time machine,
And go back, would I go back?
And you can actually change this. You don't have to do this shit. You don't have to go to jail. Would you? I mean, because I think the real thing is a lot of people that have been on the show
Not one mention of a sunbed shop or a car crash in this, has there?
that we've interviewed, different levels of crime, right? And different levels of problems. But everybody that
Same when I was younger, mate. I wasn't diagnosed till I was 35.
I've spoken to has always, they've either gone
Certainly that diagnosis and learning more about ADHD give me a lot of clarity of who and what I am.
into crime because they feel like they've fell into it or they've been pushed into it.
Yeah.
But I'm pleased, looking back, I'm pleased I wasn't diagnosed with it when I was a child because I'd already built up my own coping mechanisms to live with it. If that makes any sense?
Do you feel that happened to you? But do you think if you'd have maybe had a different upbringing or you'd been in a different place, maybe you wouldn't have?
No, that's a tough one. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean, mate? My environment probably had a lot to do with it, but everyone's responsible for their own actions. But when you're a kid, you're not higher. So when I was a kid and I was like literally fucking seeing violence from an early age as a child, and then yeah, you sometimes think it's the norm. Does that make sense?
Right.
And then yeah, I was thinking that like the normal thing to do, and it just
There's a channel on here called How to ADHD that helped me a lot in my early stages of my diagnosis. Maybe check that out, mate.
progresses. But yeah, I do know what you mean.
Meds have helped me considerably as
If I
well.
could go back in a time machine, would I change it? Probably not, because it's made me in the man I am today. You know what I mean?
There's only one Brett May.
Thank God there's only one Brett May.
So, Brett,
That's correct, Rich.
on social media, obviously a lot of your stuff's gone viral, and you know, you probably won't like me saying this, but you are an influencer, stroke social media star.
Something like that.
But did you actually learn how to do it, or did you just do it and it just went?
It just fucking flowed. Naturally, I just put a couple of videos out there and blew up like wildfire, mate. Yeah.
So what's your tips? So there'd be
Put a one in the chat if you want to see Brett May punch a cabbage.
people watching this, right, or listening to this,
Yeah.
that are thinking about starting a fight career,
And I
or they
don't mean Harvey Price.
want to push themselves out on social media.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them to become somebody that people want to watch?
Be as 100% with yourself as you can. Don't get me wrong. Controversy sells. Do what you've got to do. If you're going down the digital and social media road, but yeah, just be hungry and humble. And please believe me, it can happen, man. I come from nothing, literally nothing, and I've had to claw and get to where I am now. If I can do it, please believe me, you can do it, mate. You know what I mean? It's easy. Get it done.
And what was you know, I saw a video when you come out of jail, and obviously, you know, you got your house and you bought your car, and you know, you was basically celebrating. Look, I'm out of jail, life's good.
Yeah. Feels good, man.
What would you say your key to success is?
Consistency.
What?
You know what I mean? So some mornings you wake up.
When he says key to success, does he mean like?
I ain't got no.
Does he mean like key?
I ain't got none of this. Shit's going down. There's got to be better days. Everyone who's really cracked at a business will probably tell you the same. No business can be booming 24/7, can it? You know what I mean?
Mine is.
And that's the time when you think, oh, we're going to rob some drug dealers.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
He's megging you, Brett. He's megging you to your face, Brett. Right now, Brett. He's megging you.
Advise that, but
I'm joking.
He thinks you're a divvy, Brett.
I'm joking.
We all have to cut a few corners now and again. You know what I mean?
But consistency, I mean, that is a great thing, because everybody always says to me, oh, you know, what's your key to success? When I was doing club nights, films, acting, podcasts, whatever you do, you got to be consistent. And, you know, you wake up in the morning, like you said, and it's fucking shit, it's raining, you can't bother to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You just got to go and
Consistency is key. That's why I'm sitting here in Vegas, keeping you lot entertained still.
going. Otherwise,
100%.
one, you don't go, then the next day it's like, actually, I can't
Definitely ordering a mic stand, though.
be fucking bothered.
100%.
And it's like alcohol, it's like food. I'll just have a burger. I actually have burger and chips. I'll actually have burger, chips, and apple pie. I actually have a banana milkshake. And then before you know it, you're like fucking, you know, sitting like that.
Well, you just hit the nail on the head there by saying
Before you know it, you're sitting there like Brett May.
the gym. The hardest thing about the gym is getting there. You know what I mean? Once you're in there, you're totally relaxed and you're away. But when you're laid at home and you're on the settee or you're in bed and you think, fucking hell, my body's aching. I'm in pieces here. Can I get to the gym? The hardest bit is
Appreciate you
finally
too, mate.
unlocking your door,
I was watching your channel earlier. I'm going to feature some of it on the Danny G show later tonight.
jumping in that car or walking to
Or just streaming
the
tonight.
gym, doing whatever you got to do. And then once you're there, you're all right, aren't you? It's mind over matter, I think. Putting yourself in that position and just getting it done. Don't be lazy.
Words
I know
of
it's
wisdom.
tiring. I know it's hard.
This needs to be turned into some form of motivational speech video.
Please
This.
believe me, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Keep chipping away and you'll get to your gold mine.
Brilliant. So I'm looking forward to seeing you fight HEDGEHOG and Danny Christie and Paul Venis. So there's 3 fights that I'm looking forward to. But Brett, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're a legend, man.
Really good to meet you, brother.
Yeah,
and
boy.
I'd love to go on his show.
thank
I want to go on Sean Atwood as well.
you for coming on and sharing your stories with us. Everyone's now going to know who the real Brett May is.
Thank you very much for having me, mate.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Criminal Connection podcast. Brett May, what a great guest. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like.
Thank you
make
for
sure
tuning in with the
comment,
Watch Along.
and make
I'm
sure
the
you
Hedgehog
subscribe,
Man.
And we will